it looks like Buffie. Y'all remember Buffy from Married to Medicine when Dr. Jackie actually showed her slip and her entire ASS trying to put Buffy in her place, and shout out to everybody that Buffy wasn't fertile. Yo, I remember, and used to think that was one of the most low down things I ever saw, and the way Buffy's face cracked. Woo! I said, that's some soul hurt. When I don't think she ever gonna get over it. Well, guess what? It looks like Buffy haven't. Buffy has been in these streets talking about, and I'm gonna show you the video receipts because she made a statement and then she went on live to actually interject. Y'all, she's talking about, listen, great for Bravo for firing Jenny and racism is wrong, but what about the OBGYN that specializes in infertility that put me on blast and humiliated me all for some clicks? What about them? But forget about that. Let's see what Buffy had to say. And then I'm going to read you this on me after the jump to discuss, because that's what, baby. Buffy is the biggest hypocrite to me. Now, hear me out. She got a right to be hurt. She got a right to be upset. But how are you the main person talking about feelings matter when you literally also had a lot to say when Candiace was damn near, according to her, about to delete herself and deeply depressing? You showed her no mercy and even clowned her for crying when, look, quiet as his cap. You're one of the biggest crybabies out there. But you know what? Let's get into this mess, and then I'll let you know what my opinion is, all right? So let's start with what Buffy actually had to say. Let's read the statement, and then we're going to go. Then she really actually did a live video, and we got that too. Let's go for it.
All right, so Buffy starts off by saying, should I release a phone call I recorded when Dr. Simone called me panicking because production was going to expose how Jackie found out about my fertility issues? She admitted while giggling that she told Jackie I had fertility issues and was sensitive about it in the car on the way to my fab and frugal party. Production couldn't find any other footage of me telling anyone in the cast about my personal medical history, but I did not. And this is important to note. Buffy says because she did not, before she decided to use it as a storyline to promote her book at her book cover party. But they do have that footage of that convo because vehicle rides are filmed. Y'all, now listen. Shots were fired at Dr. Jackie and Dr. Simone. Listen, y'all can argue with yourselves what Dr. Jackie did at that party and that look on Buffy's face. I've never seen humiliation or hurt like that. I don't even have to ask how she felt because it was obvious to all. Now, let's get into the real mess. Dr. Simone, I didn't know you played a part in it. I didn't know y'all was giggling and laughing about it. What was so funny? Now, we know, at least from what I see, I might be reviewing Married to Medicine because if you guys don't know, I'll tell y'all later. Let's get to the next mess.
If that wasn't enough, guess what? She put up a post on Instagram also calling for the producers to do something. I'm about to put that. But y'all, let me know in the comments if you want me to review this season of Married to Medicine. If you haven't seen the Turn Up with T.S. Madison, you gotta watch it. You gotta watch it. Because Dr. Heavenly was on there, and T.S. Madison and Dr. Heavenly were pure TV gold. Listen, Heavenly is messy, and she got a mouth on her. But baby, so do I, right? I appreciate Heavenly for what she brings. Sometimes she goes overboard, but you know what? I appreciate what she brings to the show. And she was talking about it's gonna be some mess going down. I wonder if they're gonna make this part of the storyline. Anyway, let's get into what Buffy also had to say.
They fired Jen from Real Housewives of Salt Lake City for some horrible racist posts that she made a couple years ago before even becoming a housewife, after being pressured. But my question is, and y'all already know where I'm going, when are y'all gonna get down to those broads down at Married to Medicine? When is there gonna be some action for OBGYNs doing what they did to me? Because, I mean, there's racism, and that's bad. But these women...
So, just as an aside, while we're getting into this, don't forget we got the members only live this Friday. Girl, you know I always bring verified receipts, but on my members only live, I like to get in the gutter. I like to talk about unverified gossip. Some of it turns out to be true, some of it doesn't, but it's just a good key where we sit there and speculate and do whatever, and I bring you what the streets have been saying. Again, I usually bring 4 wick when it's been double, triple verified, but I'll let you know when it's only 1 wick. Listen, it's $4.99 to join. You can cancel it at any time. It's going to be this Friday night. It's every other Friday, and you can listen to all the old members only lives. I know a lot of people like to say that I be making up stuff, but if I make up stuff, then why am I? You might as well call me a fortune teller, because like I said, everything I've said has come to pass. So what's up, right? Listen, if you down, meet me in the gutter this Friday. Hurry up and sign up. And guess what? Let's get back to this gossip. Let's see what they talking about.
Women knowingly went after my uterus, my mental health, my peace of mind, all because they were jealous of me and for a check. And nothing was done. In fact, they were given 2 more seasons of their show. One was given a book deal and a skincare line. Actually, they were promoted for going after me and making me depressed for 2.5 years and damn near suicidal. I'm just wondering when something gonna happen about that. Curious.
Now, before we move on, you might be curious about a couple of things too. One, Buffy was getting brow lamination on her brows. If y'all were looking, that's why she got that plastic and looked like she drew her brows in with Sharpies. That's the middle of a brow lamination thing. Just so that clear that up for anybody being like, what's wrong with her brows? Because that's all I was thinking while I was watching. But also, Buffy makes some good points. When are they going to hold them accountable? However, I would like to say to Miss Purcell, don't hold your breath. Bravo on its new shows does seem to be missing, to have lost the plot. Let's not forget on Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Let me know if y'all want me to review the reunion, right? Now that they kicked that racist off, it's cool, right? But on the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, they made a storyline about whether someone actually was mourning the death of their father and whether they actually went to the memorial, to the point that the girl had to actually post receipts. And they were like, well, she told me the memorial was Monday, and it was actually Tuesday. To somebody that suffered one of the most crushing, brutal things you can ever suffer in life, forgot what day it was. Listen, Bravo has lost the plot. Now, she makes a lot of good points, and I agree it was so humiliating. But guess what? Candiace from Real Housewives of Potomac had something to say to Miss Buffy. Let's read that.
Before we get into the statement, when I read this, I thought, I don't know why, I pictured Candiace waking up, Chris cooking her some breakfast, them being in love, probably eating breakfast in bed, and her being like, good morning, saints. Anyway, let's read this thing. She said, were you concerned about accountability when you were leading the charge that had me depressed and suicidal? You are mentally ill in the most devastating way, and even thought it was not an excuse on how repugnant you are, right? You even thought, she said, where was your accountability when you left me to be depressed and feel like I wanted to delete myself? You are mentally ill, girl.
Here's the thing, right? Whether you love or hate Candiace, y'all know I have a soft spot for Candiace. I like her, right? Or whether you love or hate Buffy. Buffy was cool with me. I felt bad for the way Dr. Dr.Jackie felt her, and I felt bad for when Contessa held her head in between her hands like she was a stupid sandwich and said, get over it. She tried to take her back to boot camp, and Buffy and her soft self was like, what are you doing, girl? And it just reduced her to even more tears. But here's the thing. I do think it's something in the social media world where everybody wants somebody else to care about the way they feel, but nobody cares about the way they making somebody else feel. Now, here's the thing, right? Because I know I'm messy. I know I go in on people too. However, there is something to what Candiace is saying. Buffy teamed up with Monique. Now, I know Monique's her friend, and I'm not arguing about whether Monique and Buffy were wrong. I'm arguing about the Candiace going to therapy. You saw her posting about her feeling like deleting herself, how it was too much. You saw the hate piling on her. You saw her crying. You did what? And what did you take that opportunity to do? Instead of extending the compassion that you wish somebody had extended you and the compassion that you're demanding, you piled on. So honestly, Buffy, one person's hurt and pain does not negate another's. I understand that this is not the oppression Olympics. This is not the struggle Olympics. But I do find it odd that Buffy feels compassion for people that suffer from fertility problems, but didn't feel compassion for what had happened from somebody that actually had their hands put on them by Monique and suffered a huge PR nightmare where you had the person that hurt you going around doing a blitzkrieg of misinformation, okay? We're not arguing whether Candiace deserved it or not. I don't think she did. You might think she did. I don't think she didn't. I don't think she did. You might think she did. We're not offering about whether Buffie should be mad at Dr. Jackie. I think she should. Y'all might think. We're talking about net effect. At what point, regardless of where it stemmed from, and you see that you are causing someone pain, which is what you are accusing of someone causing you, at what point does it start to sound a little hypocritical? Again, I'm not saying Buffy can't have her own pain. I am saying that she has the nerve to be calling for someone to be fired when Candiace is saying when you could actually call for somebody else that was causing more tangible pain or the same amount. You kept your mouth shut, and not only that, you teamed up with it, and you were laughing and kikiing with Monique like it was funny because that was your girl. Just like Dr. Jackie and Dr. Simone were laughing and kikiing about your struggle because they thought it was funny. Anyway, Tattle Tells, let me know what you think in the comments. What do you think about Buffy? Do you think Bravo needs to publicly say something about the fertility issues? Millions of people do suffer from it. It's a real thing. It deserves respect. Also, what about Candiace's clap back at her? Do you think she has a leg to stand on? Let me know.